Want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Gary Bagley. I'm the Executive Director at New York Cares.
And how is New York Cares participating in the first 9/11 National Day of Service and Remembrance?
New York Cares worked with the staff of My Good Deed to create projects here in New York that volunteers could participate in as part of a commemoration of 9/11, both making sure it's a day of service as well as remembrance. We're here at PS 76M in Harlem, where our volunteers are going to be reading with kids, painting murals, and cleaning the school up in preparation for the year.
What do you think it means to the volunteer, especially the New York volunteer, to serve on today, 9/11, a day that many still remember as if it was yesterday?
New York, the outpouring of volunteer support right after September 11 was one of the most inspirational things I've personally ever seen in New York City. And I think for each of us today to come back and remember...
Ms. Jackson, please call the main office. Ms. Jackson, please call the main office. Thank you.
For all of us at New York Cares, remembering that 9/11 was a day also, the period following it, of rebuilding, and the importance that each of us plays in the community, of rebuilding our community, building up a sense of support, and reliance on each other to make our communities a stronger place. I believe that we also see it as a day to inspire us to start a commitment that we hope will last for many years to come.
The Obama administration and the Bloomberg administration here in New York have placed a great emphasis on service and volunteering. What are the general trends, especially, if you will, among young people in getting involved in community service?
We're seeing tremendous increase. Last year we saw over a 25% increase in the number of volunteers coming through our door. 1 in 5 reported that it was President Obama's call to service that had inspired them right now. Right here in New York City, Mayor Bloomberg has started a program that includes a group called the NYC Civic Corps, which is a group of AmeriCorps Vista volunteers who will be spending a year at a nonprofit in the city. 9 NYC Civic Corps members are working with New York Cares to make sure that we can ramp up and provide the amount of service that the city is now demanding. We're also in a time still of great economic need, and so there is a tremendous momentum underneath service now. We've also seen a huge increase in the number of college-age students coming through our doors. So I believe both the spirit of community service and grassroots organizing that people felt during the election itself has now continued, and there's real momentum there that we in the service world really want to take advantage of and make sure that people make a lifetime commitment to this.
Because part of that momentum is making sure that it turns into a sustained commitment to service. This is not just a short-time blip on the radar, if you will.
Exactly. At New York Cares, one of our big goals is to make sure not only that people get started, but then that they then continue. And we focus so many of our efforts on what we call volunteer retention and recognition, raising the average number of projects somebody does with New York Cares year on year. We are now filling almost 10 to 15,000 more volunteer slots each year than we would have 5 years ago, just by making sure that people not only start but then do more. And we're going to continue working at that. And one of the things that we know is when people have a meaningful service project, when they really believe their service has made a difference, they do come back. And so that's part of our job at New York Cares, is to make sure that that service has great meaning.
We really appreciate your time. Thank you.
My pleasure.